Hey guys, so the Mach 1 hasn't been getting a whole lot of love lately, but it's summertime and I have been driving this car, and one of the things that I just did to it recently was install the firewall adjuster and this new clutch cable on there, because the problem that I was having is that I was missing third gear a lot, and I didn't realize it, but these cars have factory plastic quadrants in them. The quadrant is plastic and there's a plastic adjuster on there. And so I went up in here and gosh, it's hard to see, unfortunately, but where did it go? It's hard to get up in there and see. I apologize guys, but the bottom line is the factory setup is plastic and it's got teeth on it that mesh together, and that's how it allows you to adjust your clutch travel over time using the pedal. You just lift up on the pedal and it adjusts itself. Well, that's how they do that, is they use a plastic quadrant and a plastic adjuster on there. The problem is when you're shifting quickly in a race or something, these cars have a tendency to miss gears, particularly the 2 to 3 shift, which was the one that was really bad in this car. Wide open throttle, it was just really hard to hit third. Sometimes it would completely lock me out. Extremely frustrating, extremely frustrating. So I did some research on the forums, and that's what the guys told me. They said that the plastic parts in these are just problematic. So what I did was, unfortunately I didn't get to show you, my bad, but I put the Steeda aluminum quadrant in there. It's a double hook aluminum quadrant that does away with all the ratcheting teeth and plastic. So everything up under there is aluminum now. I went ahead and put the included clutch cable on here, but I did keep my factory Ford clutch cable because everybody says the Ford cables are hands down the best ones. So I did keep it, and I put it in my barn. So if I have problems with this one, the cable itself is pretty easy to swap out. That's no big deal. In my opinion, the quadrant was the hardest part of this job, because these Mustangs sit low to the ground. I'm a pretty good sized guy, and it's just hard to lay on your back and get up under the dash and disassemble all that stuff. It was a real pain. Second hardest part of the job was that quadrant, because as you can see on the 4-valve motors, the head and the valve cover and everything comes up so far that it gets in the way, and so it's just really difficult to get any kind of tools in there whatsoever to get that clutch adjuster in there, to get the old one out, but especially to get this new one in there, because you have these new screws that are a little bit larger that you have to run in. What I ended up doing is I took the EGR. These cars have a heated EGR. I just disconnected it and took the EGR out to get it out of the way, and then I moved some of those other cables like the throttle cable and stuff out of the way, and that gave me just enough room that I was able to use a 1/4-inch ratchet and a whole bunch of extensions and a swivel, and it allowed me to get down in there and get on those screws and get them out and then put the new ones in. Took some time and some trial and error. I think I dropped these screws on the ground 20 or 30 times. I was about to throw them. I was about to throw them. Getting really frustrated, but yeah, I eventually did get it in there. And as you can see, it's just got a knurled section right over here. Maybe the camera can pick up on that. So it gives you a little bit of grip to get your fingers down in there and spin that. Even though you can spin it by hand, I have found that it's still easier just to put a big set of pliers down in there and turn it. This one does ratchet. All this Steeda brand stuff is pretty good stuff, and this one has the 1/4 turn ratcheting effect. So I've got it dialed in pretty good right now to where my clutch cable feels pretty good. It took a little getting used to at first. And on some cars they tell you not to have any tension on your throwout bearing, but on these cars apparently you're supposed to. So I have just a little bit of tension here before it really engages. You can see how it's not really flopping around any. Just a little bit of tension, and that seems to be working out really good for me. I don't have any throwout bearing noise. The car still is smooth, and it does in fact shift a whole lot better. I haven't missed third gear since I put that in there. So the next thing I'm going to do is replace that really tall shifter with a short throw shifter. Maybe something from MGW or Pro 50 or something along those lines, one of the popular short throw shifters. So that combined with a Steeda clutch quadrant and adjuster kit should get me where I need to be as far as being able to shift this thing. So that's what's going on with the Mach right now. And now that it's summertime, you know, we're going to be hitting the car shows and doing some more things with it. I picked up some wheels and tires, but they're on back order, so I got a set of 315s to put back here, so I'll have a whole lot of meat on the ground. I'll show you those whenever they come in. Apparently it's going to be a couple more weeks on that, but you know, this car is doing pretty well. I'm up to 132,000 miles now, and it's just doing really well. Still fast, strong car, good fuel economy if you're just cruising it, and a whole lot of fun to drive. These things are really fun to drive. So anyway, that's a little update on the Mach. I know it hasn't been getting a lot of love lately, but some more stuff is coming, guys. Thanks for watching.